Okay, needless to say, this is Sengoku Basara 3. In my previous video, there was a lot of things that just kind of drove me crazy. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I don't like nooks, crannies, mistakes, issues, minute or dire. So I just went back and completely reworked this. If you've seen the previous video, and seeing this one, it's gonna be pretty much night and day. For instance, this loading screen, it was just riddled with glitches. The moon was not, didn't have the proper depth of field effect. Underneath the loading, it wasn't shaped properly. As you can see, I went and fixed the title screen too. It's all of the assets are AI upscale times 4, which means a lot of this stuff is 4K now, and it's appealing to the eyes. If you guys know me, you know I'm not a fan of pixelation. I hate pixelated anything. But in regards to this title, I simply went back and I made it English. I speak English, so when things are in another language, typically I can't read it. So yeah, I simply did research and I added the word Sengoku to the title from some other title from an alternate game, and it blends seamlessly. I went ahead and just kept the Japanese in here too for those of you who read that language. Again, everything is upscale heavily. It's upscale it, at a minimum times 4. I went back and tweaked the UI, and of course in the UI I added PlayStation buttons. I play this with a PS5 controller. Aside from that, you'll notice there is text in game that is still in Japanese, but it's not an issue. It's negligible at best. Any costume that I've modded for a character, I simply went in and changed the UI accordingly. So, for instance, you'll see a lot of custom, or rather handmade, assets in this game. A good example is Oda Nobunaga. As you can see, it's he's using a custom Dante skin from Devil May Cry 3, I believe, his Devil Trigger form that I found on DeviantArt. I simply upscaled, of course, that mod itself to be 4K, and I also changed all of his UI assets, including but not limited to this portrait here. This portrait it's beautiful. It fits in seamlessly with everyone else's portraits too. Pays testament to me and my attention to detail here. In 4K, this game is gorgeous. Sengoku Basara 3, as I said in the previous video, is widely regarded as the greatest Sengoku Basara game. It's one of those rare Musou games that gives you abilities that you don't have really in anything else. Like you can press forward twice to sprint. You can press 2 buttons, 2 attack buttons at the same time to basically do a new move equivalent to Soul Calibur, and so on and so forth. It's just a gambit of things, and plus it has a boxing character. I don't play many. I'll be honest, I've played pretty much every Musou game in existence, ranging from Dynasty Warriors to even Berserk, and I've never really had a satisfying actual boxing character. And Iyasu, he scratches that itch that I have. Here's another example of a custom outfit. I went on it earlier. It's probably jarring to you, but Kenshin, which is a character I don't like. Kenshin, I can't figure out what's going on. He's one of those oddly gendered. I don't understand if it's a gay character. I don't know if it's a male or female. It's a lot going on. So I retextured it and I made him a Namek. Something about his aesthetic. I think it's the around his neck. I think it's the scarf or the puffy. It's his clothing mimics a Namekian from DBZ, so I just recolored him, and it looks so good in game. Speaking of mods that I've made, here's another mod that I pulled from, I think, DeviantArt. It's basically Kasuga wearing Jill Valentine from Resident Evil's Battlesuit, and it looks incredible. This UI asset I made by hand, along with a plethora of other things to accommodate the new costume that I, by the way, upscaled times 4, or it's a 4K costume now. I'm gonna simply go into game, and I gotta show you an example of my UI updates here. I think the clearest example of my UI changes will probably be Nova. or rather Oda Nobunaga. Yeah, I've gone through and I've changed even more stuff to English. Pretty much anything that's in Japanese that's not in English that I think should be in English, just for, me being able to navigate the game more efficiently, among other things. I simply went in and I just completely reworked. All of the stages are 4K now. They're all just heavily upscaled. Again, the UI has a lot of custom made stuff I had to do by hand. Like as you can see the word options down here, which was not featured. I don't think yeah, options, I had to do that from scratch. It added the word shop here. I can't even remember what mod I used. I used a previously publicly released English mod, but it was pretty janky. It was like maybe 50% of the English in the mod was done properly, so I had to go in and not only upscale everything, but also put English where appropriate. Anything that I hate costume wise, I pretty much removed. I don't like Nobu or Oda Nobunaga. I hate his character. I know historically he existed at some point. I keep seeing him all over different Japanese mediums, so I think Oda Nobunaga actually existed at one point in history, but I don't care for him as a character. So as you can see, I just completely replaced his costumes here with stuff that I think is cool, and his default costume is now officially Dante's Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry 3, which by the way looks insane. And he's not the only character in the roster that I'm guilty of completely changing. If I don't like a character, I simply tweak them. I do it tastefully, of course. Here's Kenshin, an example of Kenshin's UI asset being changed. It's pretty. It's from the inside out. So I pretty much gutted this game and upscaled and of course recolored any costume changes that I've made. Um, for my for my secondary character, I'm trying to think of a character that I modded that I want to show off here. Well, why not just do Kenshin here since I keep talking about him. Make him assist, which means assist means the character's on the stage with you. It's like co-op. And then mode tag means you switch out the character by pressing a couple buttons on the controller and you can play, simultaneously, or rather with either or of the characters. Okay, I'm going to start it up here, just give a quick stage showcase. I'm shocked at how long. As you can see, everything's upscaled. Anything that's not appeasing to my eyes, I simply just took out or I replaced appropriately. Again, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I kind of freak out when I see inconsistencies or mistakes. So I pretty much went through all of my textures. I of course AI upscaled them times 4. I 4K'd as much as I could, and then I also got rid of bugs. If you look closely in the background, you can see the anisotropic filtering, which only kicks in oddly enough at during the evening or night of the I guess there's a weather system here, but during certain times of the stage of the day in the stage, the anisotropic filtering will kick in where appropriate, which is kind of cool actually. As you can see textually, this looks better than Sengoku Basara 4, which I still can't figure out why people hate that game. I hear there's a mechanic in it that angers people, but I personally haven't played it. I just wasn't interested in playing Sengoku Basara 4 because I have this. This is superior to me. Um, so there's my texture mod there. I'm not sure if you can see it well, but there's Kenshin. As you can see, I made him a Namekian from DBZ, and something oddly enough, this texture fits him so perfectly. Same with Nobunaga. This is the texture that I referred to earlier that I found on DeviantArt, which basically just makes him into a freaking Devil May Cry character. That weapon looks familiar too. I think the weapon he's holding is actually Red Queen from Nero. But I just upscaled this times 4, or I made it. I 4K'd everything, and it's just like I like to screen arch. So me, any game that I get that I love, if I absolutely love a game, I will first things first. I will AI upscale and 4K the crap out of it, just because it's appeasing to the eyes, to not be counting pixels. Um, I'm going to give an example of just how meticulous I am with my texturing. I'm going to get in really close here to this treasure chest so you can see if you've played Sengoku Basara 3 on the Dolphin emulator, and you're familiar with these textures, and this should blow your mind. Just the detail. You could actually see the etching, or rather the stitching on the blue material, or the nylon, not nylon, but the material that the treasure chest is made of. And as you can see, the gold, it looks like actual, gritty, graded, aged gold on the chest. And this is of course, the type of attention I pay to everything, big and small, in this game. Um, I'm shocked at how long this video has been. It's been pretty much a 10-minute video, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. See the lily pad, how detailed that looks? This game is beautiful. That's all I want to stress. This game is absolutely insane. And just being able to mod it just makes it godlike. And yeah, I'm going to end the video here. Just keep it short. I'm just making it clear here. Oh, see the UI? I also tweaked the UI to, be appropriate to whatever custom costume I may have on. But yeah, again, I'm going to keep this video short here. If it's not Mugen, or if it's not my 2D fighting game, I don't really care too much, to focus on it. So I'm going to end the video here. This is Sengoku Basara 3, specifically for the Dolphin emulator. This is an HD upscale that I've done myself personally, along with other skin mods, of course, and of course an English UI overhaul. This video is just an update video to basically fix all of the things that drove me crazy when I was looking at the previous video that I released. And I advise you guys to pick this game up. This game looks insane. God bless.